watching M.O.D Entertainment. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and check out the website to get the gear. The link will be in the description.
Voice music.
From the land of the gang signs and blue rags, where we post up, never hesitate to blast. Where the weak don't last and the strong end up on the map. From the Golden State, where the real G's be at. From the LA County, homie, where we know to bang. Shit is nothing, growing up, you knew you had a back. Put it down for the vital, never will I rank. Ponte ducha all the time, you better watch your back. Cause she'll crack up, homie, it don't matter where you at. This is real gangster shit, only talking facts. It's the truth, ain't no lie, we don't need no caps. Just a Glock, stolen whip, in a Blasky mask. Shit is nothing busting hollers, we don't need to brag. From the
G-File.
Now, starting right here in Pico Rivera. You have one of the oldest neighborhoods right here in Pico Rivera, which is the Barrio Rivera Viejo, or it's just known as Rivera. But either way, you can see it up, you know, Rivera 13 or Rivera Viejo 13. Is how you see it up. Now, it is one of the largest neighborhoods in Pico Rivera. It's deep. They have a lot of heads. You know what I mean? Considering they've been around since the 1960s, so they already been around here, this area, for a long time. Now, even though it is an old school neighborhood and has been around since the 60s, it is not the oldest neighborhood here. But it is one of the oldest, but it's not the oldest. So it's not the first original hood out of this area, but it is old school. You know what I mean? This neighborhood is definitely with the business. These guys ain't no pushovers, ain't no chumps, homie. You already know they with the business. Now, their neighborhood is massive. As you can see from the map picture I posted, you can find them like just pretty much scattered throughout the area. But their main dojo, their main domain, their, you know, the heart of their hood is actually located where Rivera Park's at. Rivera Park is their domain, their, you know, where they're established, where they handle business. You know what I mean? Through those back ends, throughout those back streets is where you can find the Rivera, you know, neighborhood. Everything that's in the middle, I guess you would say, from like Slauson Avenue to where the Santa Ana freeway's at. So from Slauson to where the Santa Ana freeway's at, I probably would consider their neighborhood, which is a vast territory. You know what I mean? And everything from what's Rosemead Boulevard to where the, I guess you could say, the San Gabriel River is at. You know what I mean? So, like I said, that's just a massive amount of turf that they have. Just because they have a lot of numbers, you know, on their side. Like I said, these guys ain't no chumps, ain't no pushovers. And this is also the neighborhood in which the rapper Little Demon, this is the neighborhood in which he's from. Little Demon's, he has an album, down from my, no, what's it called? I think it's Down For My Shit or something like that. It's a really, really good album. I recommend it. He rapped with Slow Pain and Old Town Mafia. You know, this is the neighborhood in which Slow Pain also put it down for Pico Rivera right here, the Rivera 13. And yeah, that's what's up with Rivera right there. Definitely putting their barrio up on the map. They with the business, homie, still continue to run their neighborhood, you know, with an iron fist and be holding it down right there. You already know it's an art thing, baby. You know what I mean? Gotta be showing love right there, you know. But that's what's up with the Rivera neighborhood right there, rifando. You feel me? And here we have another old school neighborhood right here in Pico Rivera. You have the Barrio Pico Viejo. Now, Pico Viejo is an old school neighborhood. I was told that they've been around since the 50s is when this neighborhood was established. So I was told. You know what I mean? You know, back then they were called the Alley Cats, and you know, they transitioned it to Pico Viejo. You know, due to the fact they're located right there on the old side of Pico, right there, where the Pico Park's at, is where you can find this neighborhood. Like I said, that's gonna be a common theme around this area. You know, these neighborhoods kick it around parks, right here. You know, so the Pico Viejo kicks it by Pico Park right there, by Olympic Street. That's their main domain, their dojo, where they hold it down. You know what I mean? Where they get it on and crack it. That's their main domain. Now, Pico Viejo, not to be confused with Rivera Viejo or Pico Nuevo. All of these neighborhoods are all different neighborhoods. As a matter of fact, Pico Nuevo and Pico Viejo are like heavy rivals. And as for Rivera and Pico Viejo, seems like there's not really no beef or animosity between them. Seems like they both concentrate on Pico Nuevo instead. Probably because it's slap right there in the middle of both of the neighborhoods. It's pretty much why. You know what I mean? So they kind of tend to stay a distance from each other because Pico Viejo is like is located by the Pico Park, while Rivera is located by the Rivera Park. So, it's kind of a distance. Pico Viejo has been holding it down right here with an iron fist for a while, been representing for theirs. It's a neighborhood that's old school. Yeah, Pico Nuevo is the one that's more talked about, the one that has like more fame, but don't ever get it twisted. Pico Viejo is definitely with the business, homie. These guys, chumps, homie. They get it on and cracking. There's a reason why there's so much animosity between these neighborhoods, is because they get it on and popping. You know what I mean? And that's just how it goes down on this side. Like I said, don't ever get Pico Rivera twisted. I mean, these neighborhoods have been already right here for a cool minute, well established, and been handling their business. You know what I mean? Putting their neighborhood up on the map and holding it down for theirs. But that's what's up with the Pico Viejo right there, representing for theirs and putting it on their barrio. And here you have the neighborhood that's more well known around this area is the other Pico barrio, which is the Barrio Pico Nuevo. Now, Barrio Pico Nuevo is located right here in Pico Rivera by Smith's Park, is where you can find their neighborhood. That's their main domain, their dojo, the heart of their hood. Where they be doing their things. And this is the barrio in which the rapper Bozo and R.I.P. Stomper is from. This is their neighborhood. They're one of the more well-known neighborhoods throughout this area. You know what I mean? Is one of the more recognized, because those individuals, those rappers, put it on the map for them. You know what I mean? Held their own. So you can find them right there. Was located around the El Rancho High School. So through all those back ends is where you can find this neighborhood. They're also located in several other locations within the LA County. But yeah, this is, right here in Rivera, right here by Smith's Park, is where they originated from, their main domain, their dojo, where they came from. And they are more of the newer neighborhoods, because Rivera, Viejo, and all those other gangs are way older than Nuevo. But Nuevo exploded with numbers pretty fast, you know what I mean? And rose up the ranks pretty quickly, you know what I mean? Just because they're the newest gang and they're not as old as the other neighborhoods doesn't mean that they're chumps, you know what I mean? They were the new knuckleheads on the block and went out there running mugs to get them, the name that they got now, you know what I mean? So they do have their people that put it down and put in work for their neighborhood, you know what I mean? Like I said, they give law enforcement and a lot of individuals a hard time over here. So they are with the business, they are with the functions, still continue to have a strong presence right there, and still continue to do what they do and put in theirs on the map. You feel me? But that's what's up with the Pico Nuevo neighborhood right there, representing for theirs in the Pico Rivera area. And here you have the Jardin neighborhood, or as the name is, Jardin. They didn't quite get the inside joke of mine and my homie Lazy's, but yeah, you have the Jardin neighborhood. Jardin is the original neighborhood, so I was told it was the original neighborhood right here in the Pico Rivera area. They were the first. So at least that's what I was told. Their neighborhood's dating back already since the 40s, early 50s when this neighborhood was established. So I was told, so it's already an old school neighborhood that's already been right here for a cool minute. And they're large in numbers. They're well established, heavily rooted into the community, well known. Their reputation precedes them. These guys are with the business, homie. You know what I mean? And their neighborhood, they have it on lockdown, you feel me? Going at it with all the surrounding neighborhoods right there, because like I said, these guys already have been right here for a cool minute, and with beefing it with all the barrios that stay around them. Because like I said, Pico Rivera, don't ever get it twisted. There's a lot of neighborhoods jam-packed in this area. I know people try to say that it's like, it looks nice and, expensive and stuff like that. Like I said, this neighborhood gets it on and cracking, homie. These areas are hectic. You know what I mean? Now, their neighborhood is located by where the Montebello Garden Elementary school's at. So through those back ends is where you can find this neighborhood. On the Garden Apartmentplex, units is where you can find this neighborhood where they be holding it down. That's why it's known as the Gardens. And Jardin, like I said, homie, these guys, hey, they be putting it down, homie. These guys ain't no chumps, ain't no pushovers. Like I said, shout out to all the homies that be holding it down right there for Jardin. Shout out to the homie Lazy. He gets the inside joke of Jardin, but yeah, shout out to all the homies from, Jardin that be holding it down, representing for theirs and putting their barrio up on the map. You feel me? That's just the way this J gang does it, homie. They just be putting it on the map, my boy. Now here you have the Horseshoe Gang, the Horseshoe Rifa. You know what I mean? The HS13 or HSR13 is how you see that up. Now the Horseshoe neighborhood has always been roughly a small neighborhood. You know what I mean? They were never large in size. Roughly the reason why you don't see them up as much as you do these other neighborhoods. But they are located right here in Pico Rivera. You know what I mean? They've been right here for a cool minute. Right slap in the middle of Pico Viejo and Pico Nuevo's neighborhood. It overlaps with each other. Almost right there by Speedway alleys where you can find this neighborhood. You know what I mean? By like West Boulevard and those areas, is where this neighborhood's at. You know what I mean? From Dorothy to Paramount, right slap in the middle. You know what I mean? So by West Boulevard, travels, throughout their area. Right there by High Tree Street and all that. Now the reason why it's called Horseshoe is because geographically the area is shaped like a horseshoe. That's the reason why it's known as Horseshoe. And not to be confused with the northern Horseshoe Gang. This is the southern, it's a Sureño barrio. And it has been already right here established for a cool minute. I was told that they date back all the way since the 50s. Is what I was told. Like I said, you roughly don't see them up as much because, they were always a small neighborhood. Due to the fact that, Pico Viejo, Pico Nuevo, and all these other larger gangs just surround their neighborhood. It's just like no breathing room right there. Makes recruitment a lot more difficult. You feel me? But the Horseshoe, don't get it twisted, homie. They were with the business. They do have a presence still. You know what I mean? You do catch some riders still from there representing for their neighborhood. Like I said, neighborhoods don't really ever die. They just multiply. That's just how it goes down. And Horseshoe's no different. And they be holding it down right there for the HSR, the Horseshoe Rifa, and putting theirs still on the map. Another neighborhood that you have right here is the Brown Authority neighborhood or the Brown Assassins neighborhood, the BA13. Now their neighborhood was located right there, almost close to the Obregon Park by Sandoval Avenue. Basically, I guess you would say from Woodford Street to Narrows Drive. So everything in the middle from that would be considered their neighborhood, by Fairway Drive, almost by the riverbed. Their neighborhood is really, really close to Pico Viejo's outskirts, by Friendship Avenue, you know what I mean? And Dorothy, all that, by Cruz Road, all that's what's considered their neighborhood, you know what I mean? A pretty decent size, you know what I mean? But their neighborhood was always roughly a smaller neighborhood. They never really were larger like Pico Viejo or Pico Nuevo and these other sets around them. But don't get it twisted, homie. This neighborhood used to give law enforcement a hard time. They made the news several times. They were doing their thing, homie, even put some reports right here, you know what I mean? There was some shootouts going on and all kinds of shit, homie. Like I said, you know what I mean? I know people like to get it twisted, like, nah, they were just a crew and, yada, yada, yada. Like I said, they were handling business, homie. They were laying it down, putting in work, putting theirs on the map. These guys ain't no chumps, ain't no pushovers. You know what I mean? Located already right here in the outskirts of, Pico Rivera. For the Southeast, definitely putting theirs on the map. They still got their riders representing for theirs and putting theirs up, you know what I mean? But that's what's up with the Barrio Brown Authorities, Brown Assassins. Definitely still putting it down, representing for theirs and putting theirs on the map. Here's another neighborhood that's located over here in this area. Already by like the Bell Gardens, Pico Rivera borderline area. So we gonna add them right here in the southeast portion. You have the BNH neighborhood, BNH 13. Standing for Brown Neighborhood. Brown Neighborhood is a well-known neighborhood that's in this area. You know what I mean? They hit up a lot. That I could tell you. They get up a lot of graffiti. I see their graffiti all throughout where Telegraph's at. Jack in the Box, all of that. You know what I mean? Now, their main domain, their main dojo's on Greenwood Avenue is where they're the heart of their hood, their main domain, their dojo, almost by like Las Flores and Del Rio and Camino del Sur, del Sol, all that area, you know what I mean, is where you can find this neighborhood. Throughout Gage, Watcher, like I said, they have a pretty chunk size of territory where you can find this neighborhood, you know what I mean, where they be doing their thing, going at it with the surrounding neighborhoods right there within the Bell Gardens and other regions right there. The Brown neighborhood is a neighborhood that you definitely see up. I was told that they're roughly about 80 members, so not one of the more larger neighborhoods, but nonetheless, still has a presence. One of the neighborhoods you do see up. I mean, you can't even say you don't see it up because goddamn, they right all over the damn place. You know, I definitely do see this neighborhood up, and they continue to still be up, you know what I mean? Because I still see the graffiti all the damn time. It gets painted over, they paint it over again, and here they go. So they still have a presence. So if people want to be hating right there in the comments, I mean, they can say whatever they want. I mean, my eyes don't lie. But that's what's up with the Brown neighborhood right there. Definitely representing for theirs. Still putting theirs up on the map and representing and holding it down for theirs. And here we have a more smaller neighborhood now, not to get it confused like the last time when I put Pico Rivera in the southeast, meaning the southeast and Pico Rivera. So it's not, I know it's located in Whittier, but you know what I mean, it's the southeast. So, you know, I decided to make it a lot easier, you know, throw them on here. The Sunrise neighborhood, the SR neighborhood, roughly a more smaller neighborhood that was well established here, going back already for a cool minute since the 60s, I was told. Pretty old school barrio. Now, they were located right there on Abbeywood Avenue and Cronton Avenue is, you know, so everything in the middle of that is what's located right there by Tugas Street. I think that's how you pronounce that street. Is what's considered their neighborhood. You know what I mean? And they still be right there representing it and holding it down for theirs. You know what I mean? Almost by the Del Rey food, you know, is where you can find, you know, the Sunrise neighborhood. Roughly always a small neighborhood. I was told that there were roughly no more than 60 heads. But that they were with the business, you know, you did see them up. They did put in work. They do have homies that are incarcerated, you know, for putting in that work. So they were doing their thing, homie. It was a neighborhood that you did hear about, even though you roughly don't see up as much no more. You don't hear about them up no more. It's still nonetheless right here. That's who they are, the Sunrise 1-3, and continue to represent theirs and putting theirs on the map. R.I.P. to Smiley, and you know, shout out to all the homies from Sunrise that be representing it and putting it down for their body. But that's what's up with the Sunrise neighborhood right there.